Yeah. Shout out, John Tory. John Tory won the mayoral election.
Where they at?
There you go.
Got one for Sap?
Yeah, there should be one.
Oh, you got one? All right, cool.
Careful though, topic, because Dustin
bro.
dropped a couple.
So shout out John Tory. He's the re-mayor.
Should we shout him out?
Should have believed.
I don't know, man.
He won.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
I have nothing against him personally. Like, I don't know. People say he ain't shit.
I just don't like the whole smart track and whole subway delay shit.
But it takes time.
Smart track no more.
It takes time to build those things, man. Honestly, it's not gonna be overnight. No subway was built overnight.
Fam, he didn't even mention smart track in his new campaign though.
He doesn't have to. It's been in progress before he was mayor.
Nah, it ain't in progress.
What percentage of people
is, man. It
under
takes
40
time, man.
voted?
Man, I heard that a very low percentage of people under 40 vote. I heard only half of the city actually voted that should have or could have.
And
I didn't vote.
I voted.
Do you know that statistic is a normal statistic?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not low.
Yes.
It's just what it is.
It's the norm.
It's the majority.
Yeah.
Of the time.
No, I know.
I'm
my
guilty of
parents,
not.
I know my parents don't vote.
62%, I think.
Yeah.
Was the last one.
We
That
have
was
an-
just because it was a really polarized election.
Yeah.
For the most part, we have a notoriously low.
Yeah, turnout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, we a
No,
big
absolutely,
city,
man.
No one gives a fuck what that shit to do.
Doesn't that make you think if someone actually rounded up behind one person and got
Yeah, they're
a
definitely
whole
one.
community of us to actually vote, we could basically just put whoever we wanted in office?
We could, literally.
People
All
just have
strength
to
is in
organize on that
numbers,
level.
right? But
Yeah.
just people are so divided right
Yeah.
now. You got a least chance of anybody coming together to do any good than you
Well,
ever
And
had.
60% of
Everybody
the voters
just goes
don't
in-
vote at all.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
point. It should be at 95%. 5%
Yeah.
don't vote.
Well, I mean, people don't really. I guess they can't be inconvenienced, so to speak. Me personally, I try to vote every election that I get the opportunity to do it. But certain people just can't be.
I would have if they didn't pick my birthday to be the fucking.
But yeah, man. So
You could have did advanced voting.
Nah, man.
You could have. I did that.
I wasn't that. I wasn't
Yeah.
that.
I was just
I don't want to fuck Faith that.
I just
bad.
wanted to get it out of the way, man. I was just like, I'm not
Did
waiting.
you? You
until
didn't
the
even vote. I was gonna ask
Nah,
you if
fuck
you went
no.
to vote for it. But apparently, she got 26,000 votes. How you guys feel about that?
Hey, man, people. She got the support,
26,000
man.
incels.
Half of what Tory got, so that's alright.
That's just,
That's
she
not
got the
half of what
support.
Tory got.
Yeah, he got 40,000.
No, man, he got
47?
300,000 votes.
Or for almost
Wow,
400.
people
Yeah, he
really
got
are
almost
on his
400,000
dick.
votes.
Oh, yeah, 40%. That's right.
Yeah, Kisamat had about half of what he had. She had like
Yeah,
100
that's what I was
and
saying, yeah.
no, I was talking about Faith
Oh,
Goldie,
the
not
Nazi
Kisamat.
bitch.
Yeah,
Oh,
But is she really a Nazi? I'm just throwing it out there, devil's advocate. Is she really a Nazi? Show the proof.
yo, apparently she's been on talk shows and blogs and stuff that are straight Nazi.
But have
Yo,
you
Mike,
seen them?
Mike's
Have you seen
Mike's
them?
gonna do the knowledge on you right
Have you-
now.
no,
I think
no, I'm
she
not-
she
Nah,
plays
personally, 'cause I don't give
to.
a fuck about politics. I haven't seen it, but
But that's the
my
thing.
coworker today was like, yeah, she's read that shit. She's like, yeah, this bitch is a pure Nazi.
But what I'm saying
like,
is
oh,
this, right?
word?
I've watched a lot of shit that she's been on. I watch a lot of alt-right, so-called alt-right videos, hear their perspective and shit. All I'm saying is, unless you watch it, it's hard for you to say if she is or she isn't, or anyone is.
I think everyone
it's
should
hard to
reserve
say.
judgment on anything till they've seen anything.
Well, that- you have to, what I'm saying
Like,
is you gotta
straight up.
actually see it to make your own judgment. You know what I mean?
There's a problem
I'm
with
not
fucking
defending her.
social
I'm not
media,
defending her.
man.
That's real. That's real.
Right?
That's real.
Like, what's that guy, Jared Taylor? The other day, I was watching something where he was part of this movie called Race War Rights or whatever, Race Wars. It's mostly a black supremacy thing, but he was interviewed and he spoke with people.
Who's this?
Jared Taylor.
Who's Jared Taylor?
He's supposedly a white nationalist, white supremacist.
Okay.
He has a thing called American Renaissance.
Yeah.
And what he wrote about it, he's basically saying black people are not targeted. That's his perspective. But he's a white nationalist. He doesn't believe that this is what's happening.
Right.
But
What?
then you have and he doesn't believe there's a race war based on what he knows. But
But he's a white nationalist.
but Richard Spencer, he said that. So people within those so-called circles have different philosophies.
So it's
You
all
just
fake news.
no. All you gotta do is listen to what they gotta say and go from there. Even with David Duke.
Yeah.
That's what
I
everyone's
bet
gotta
that guy's
Yeah.
bi-curious too.
If you want to dig
So
deeper,
random.
like it's so easy to see a headline that says this person is this,
Yeah.
and then you feed into that. Even Steve Bannon, he had a meeting with a bunch of friggin' black entrepreneurs, and I watched the whole video, and I was like, the way they're trying to paint this dude is not exactly.
Nah, it's just because he was a Trump
Well,
supporter.
what I
Yeah.
think is happening is
And he was part of that website.
what I think
Breitbart.
what I think is happening is these people understand who their market is. They understand who they have to market their videos, who they have to appeal to, and whose pockets they have to put their hands in. Now, does that make
Anyone
them
trying to
all-
market
Hold on.
anything off racism, though, that's
Hold
the
on,
worst
let me finish.
businessman in the
Let
world.
me finish. Let me
No,
finish.
you
let me
make a lot of
finish.
money, bro.
Let me
You
finish.
make a lot of money.
Let me finish. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can convince a person that they are better than the most educated person in another race just based off their skin color, you can keep your hand in their pocket for life. And that's what these people, some of them are doing. Now, does that mean that these people are Nazis? I don't know. Nationalists, you know what I'm saying? We'll call them nationalists instead of Nazis, but nationalists, I would say yes. But what I would say is some of these people are taking advantage of the idiocy, the lunacy, the stupidity of some of these people who really have these notions and now feel comfortable enough to express this stuff in today's day and age. And some of these people are seeing themselves as saying, you know what? There's money. There's a gold mine in me telling these people to go out there and hate these people and lead them down the road hating these people. And I'm going to cash in on that.
Now you're just calling a whole group of people that might be educated stupid because they have certain beliefs. Like, maybe they're just not surrounded by the culture that we are in Toronto.
That's facts. Small towns in
people,
Canada.
Like, I'm surrounded by people of
pretty
different
fucking racist.
backgrounds and religions and creeds and all that here. So, like, I don't feel these ways that someone from, like, deep Bush, Alabama might feel. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, though,
Goldie explained Richard Spencer. He said that
Richard Spencer came up with this idea here in Toronto. Sitting on a bus because he was the only white guy on the bus. Faith Goldie from Toronto. Gavin McInnes, the guy who founded Vice magazine. You know what I'm saying? This guy all of a sudden is now the leader of the Proud Boys. What is it about Toronto all of a sudden that's breeding this in these people? It's not people being isolated. It's people being surrounded.
because we are a real multicultural city.
So
Right.
Maybe these guys couldn't fight growing up and they just got beat the fuck up a lot. And they're like, all right, now I got some power. I'm fucking.
A lot of it
I'm
boils
fucking
down
shit
to,
up.
A lot of it boils down to
little
again,
man syndrome.
They are, you know,
White
saying
from
yeah, whatever.
Wareham that
But a lot of it boils
couldn't
down
fight.
to them being able to keep their hand in the pockets of individuals. They're looking at people saying, you know what? Yeah,
But
I
to
can
me,
convince them this, and I could take their money.
You have
I
to
agree.
remember, stupidity is not parallel with education.
Right?
No.
There's a lot of stupid
paralleled
people
with ignorance.
University degrees.
It's paralleled with
Right.
ignorance,
Exactly.
for real.
Yeah, like
It's what you choose to be privy to and what you choose
that's
not
what it
to.
is. You know what I mean? So it doesn't. You can't really use the excuse that homeboy's from Timbuktu and that's why he hasn't seen another black person. That's why he's racist.
Right.
Yeah.
You know that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people from small towns that never had a black person in their small town, and they don't hate black people.
Exactly.
You understand? So like
They just
their
don't. They
education
just
level
don't know.
or their geographic location
Ignorance.
has nothing to do with
Right.
whether or not they hate
Like,
another race.
I grew up part of my life, like, in a town called Cannington, Northern Ontario. And
That sounds like a hell
there
of
was
a.
literally one other black person in the school. Me and him got in a fight. It wasn't like a race thing. It was the winner got 3 smokes a lighter and 75 cents.
Yo, let's fight after the podcast.
But yo, like, so
3 smokes, a lighter, and 75
so
cents
anyway,
for a
but
fist
yo,
fight.
that
You
was
down,
the
bro?
only black kid in the whole fucking county.
Yeah.
And
He whooped your ass.
everyone
didn't
up there, like, yo, the first day, yo, check this, figure this out. The first day I get into this school, though, there's kids wearing red bandanas, and like, I'm coming from the city, and like back then, like 1999,
wore red
I was
bandanas
rolling
in high
Crip
school.
back then, right? Like, I ain't into no gang shit no more, but I rolled up and see all these kids wearing red bandanas up in the sticks, right? So I walk in with like just draped in blue the first day of school, like, yo, wagwan.
Did you walk in doing the sea walk?
Nah. But yo, these
Keep
kids
it
were
gangsta,
like, yo,
keep it
blood,
gangsta.
cuz, what the fuck are you doing? And like, yo, they literally said, blood, cuz. And I'm like, yo, what?
It's funny that y'all were so emotional about these colors.
Colors.
Dude, like, I didn't give a fuck, dog.
Colors. You don't know
But
me.
yo, what it
fool.
was these kids from Sticks, Ontario grew up watching BET and shit.
What
and thought
block
this
were they
was-
fighting
this was
over
what's
in the
up, You know
Sticks?
what I mean?
You
Like,
too,
yo,
though,
hold on.
right? Because you were
Nah, I come from Toronto. I just grew up there for like a couple years.
but
So
I'm
you were a
saying you
Snoop Dogg
weren't a
fan,
real
and they
Crip,
were
though.
Suge Knight fans.
Hold on, Chris. Chris.
G&D up.
Were y'all beefing over a block or a bush?
That was a bush still. That was a bush still.
They were beefing over 75 cents.
And 3 cigarettes.
It wasn't a bush to hustle at.
And the lighter.
It was a bush to piss in, wasn't it?
Oh, man. That's
My
messed
dick's
up.
already out, fam. What you say, cuz?
So
My
they-
dick's already out.
So you guys
No,
were
but nah,
gang
these
banging
kids
out in the boonies?
These kids were
Like,
straight
what
up.
the hell?
These kids were straight up gang banging. They
For real
thought
though, do
up
y'all
in the
think
sticks. You know
y'all
what I
think
mean?
there's
Like,
Bloods and Crips anywhere outside of I'm not even gonna talk
They
about
don't
Compton
follow
and
the
all that.
same
I'm just saying,
rules.
like,
That's
LA?
Yo, like,
Is
I
there-
know Bloods
is there
and Crips
Bloods
in
and Crips?
Toronto that
They have
fucking
them.
chill. You
They
know
have
what I
them in
mean? Like,
Japan.
That's what I'm saying.
Like there's
And
everywhere.
I'm not saying the homeboy can't kill you,
Yeah.
right? Because man, if you're wearing blue, I know people who are wearing brown where I grew up. You know, whatever the color is, they can kill you.
Yeah.
Right? But
Money's money, man.
legitimate Bloods and Crips,
Nah, man.
No.
Right?
No, yes.
Well, it depends.
Nah.
It depends.
Nah,
It
the Bloods and
depends.
Crips in Toronto, yeah, we got them, but they'll do business together.
He has a blue bandana and a gun, so he's dangerous.
See,
but
Yeah,
it's
but-
not like
The way I see them
They're
right now,
like LA Bloods and Crips.
Yeah,
Nah,
it's-
the way I see them right now is like New York street gangs in like the 70s, right?
That's
Like
what
five
Toronto's always
five
been,
of them got the name Savage in them,
Yo,
and five of them got like
Toronto's
the, you know
got
what I
the
mean?
five
Like it's
boroughs,
like
too.
all these gangs who subbed off
see-
into other
see,
gangs
what
and
I
shit.
would
But
say
that's what
is-
happened with Bloods and Crips. Like they just subbed off different people, say they're that, start up their own things, but it's
Were
just
they
like
not
an
inspired by hip hop.
What
and
I will say
movies?
to this,
I would say
what I will
so.
say to this is two things.
How did they get here otherwise?
Number one, Mike, what neighborhood you from?
Me?
Yeah, what neighborhood you from?
Park though, man.
And
I
Parkdale
met
was
you
always.
living in Junction.
No, I'm
No,
from
but
Park.
hold on. And Parkdale was always a
I moved
Crip.
to Junction when I was
Parkdale
30, bro.
shout out to the Junction, the hipsters.
But Mike, Parkdale was always a Crip neighborhood, right?
From what I know, I'm not sure. Yeah, from
From the 90s
Yeah,
it
I
was.
wasn't
All
following
right,
that
so that's
shit, though.
so number one. So they were banging back then. You know what I'm saying? I got family who grew up with Mike, and that's how I know because he was affiliated with that, and I knew back in the early 90s. I'm talking, you know,
So
whatever.
Mike was
city
Nori
hoods.
back in the day.
No, I'm saying
I wasn't involved in none
that's
of that
just his
shit,
hood he
bro.
grew up in. You know what I'm saying? But what I would say is
girls
this.
just love
Hold on.
the way you spit.
I was just
What
a
I would
good
say is
kid,
this.
man.
What y'all need to do when you think on that is go back and listen to Ice Cube's Summer Vacation. That's how that gangbanging started. Dude said, you know what? I can't make my money in LA. Let me fly up to Seattle. Let me fly up to St. Louis. Let me fly up to Toronto, put in that work, set up block here, put
you
this
think
guy on, tell him the
actual
rules,
people
and start
came
my
and
set
started?
here.
What's the
One
same
of
shit
the-
Jay-Z
one of
talks
the-
about on Reasonable
Hell
Doubt, going
yeah.
up to
One
Maryland
of the
and shit.
first,
You know what I mean?
yes, gangs I heard of
Set
in
up shop
Toronto.
with a quarter of rock. Here's the plan.
So, like,
And one of
Three
the
straight
only ones I
whites
heard
slaughtered
about
the
was
block.
NBC.
Here's the difference. Here's the
Yeah,
difference
like-
about Toronto and other cities, you know, compared to whatever. We also, I mean, now I think we have like more of a Somalian gang issue, but we had Jamaican gangs as well
Shower
as those
Posse,
Bloods
yeah,
and
too.
Crips. So we had different things. We had
yeah.
some of that American gang culture, but we also had the Caribbean, and then we have some of the African gang culture.
I say
you know what I'm
Caribbean
saying? So
culture really is
And
like
we had-
the,
we
the more
also-
forefront culture of
We also have a little bit
Toronto.
of the mafia as well. Like Montreal is a big
Montreal's a
mafia
hot
city.
city. Mob and
Like
bikers.
Montreal's
Yeah.
a big mob city. So yes, Canada does have.
But you know
those
what's crazy
problems.
about these like mafia
But-
cities and stuff? Like nowhere in North America is it like people, aside from maybe like Boston, even them, they're really immigrants too. But like nowhere really like it's people who have come in who create these gangs. Like it's never like the French mafia isn't a bunch of Frenchmen like
What
like you
about
know what I
bikers?
mean? Like it's
Yeah,
like
that's what I was about to say.
Bikers.
Hell's Angels.
Yeah.
Hell's Angels or like
Yeah.
triads or like you know what I
Yeah.
mean, something like that. It's like someone who's just like,
Yeah,
all right,
it's
we'll just set
Japanese,
up here.
fam.
Yeah.
But it's funny like you refer to it like you know what I mean, like a French gang, but it's like not French motherfuckers. Like
Hey
Tell that to
man.
the Sorrel chapter of HA, bro.
Yeah. Fuck, listen, man.
yo,
Most
yo,
of
yo,
the
beat down
most
time.
of the illicit marijuana
Yo,
that's grown
man,
in this
biker
country is
stories
going
are
out in
crazy,
Quebec.
man.
Most of the bikers in
Try
this
not to
country are
talk
from
about those
Quebec,
on the
other than
radio.
like out west.
Of course not, bro. That's,
You know,
that's
like,
some
yeah.
different shit.
So
man.
there's
Canada
Hell's
has
Angels
its-
all over the place
Oh,
though.
Everywhere,
definitely,
man.
definitely. But I think like Canada
Support
has
your
its.
local
its
I met-
And Hell's
I met
Angels
a
started
dude.
in the fucking States. They started in no, in the Bay. What fucking Oakland? That's
I met
where
this
the
dude
Hell's
from
Angels
South
started.
Africa
Yeah.
who was wearing a 1% ring. I didn't know what that shit was about. He's from South Africa. He has this ring. I'm like, there's Hell's Angels out there? And he goes, no, we just support them. But if I want to
Okay.
join Hell's Angels, I can.
Okay.
Support
Yeah.
your 81, guys.
It was crazy. Like, this
Money
shit is
gotta
like
get made,
worldwide.
man.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, Hell's Angels in South Africa?
But see, that's something
And
I
it's not
feel
even,
like
they're not even there.
that's something worldwide that I feel is more organized. Like the Bloods and the Crips are
Yeah.
organized worldwide.
No,
It's an
you know, to some
influence, and then
extent,
people
yeah.
just take that name.
It's organized in LA.
That's why I compared it to like New York gangs of the 70s because
They
like
organize,
there'd be a
yeah,
gang from this
well,
block, so instead of like
yeah, they
the
got the
Savage
sets
Nomad,
and
you're the
shit,
Savage
But
this, and like you know what I mean. Like you
You'd
kind
be
of
surprised, bro.
It's like
Just
how
say
everyone's
outside
Lil
LA.
and young in hip hop right now.
They don't
Yeah.
follow the same
Oh
rules.
well, this guy's Lil, this guy's young, so I'm Lil. This like, come on, who names himself Lil Baby?
Yeah, but you know what's
Like, like yo, I don't need, like I fuck with Baby and Gunna, like I play this shit, whatever. But
Okay, so I just seen him
That
that
is-
today. It was like a bunch of like
can we
looking midgets.
can we agree that
And, like, yo,
that's
I
the
was
worst
like,
rap
yo,
name of all time?
Lil's new album's not coming up short.
Like
but when it comes to
worst
stuff like
rap
that,
name of all time.
when it comes to stuff like that, again, same thing with hip hop. Like Bloods and Crips are, you know, they're around the same ages as hip hop. Now we're getting into the era where these guys are getting smarter, so they're affiliated or they're banging, but they're like, hey, I gotta go to school, or I gotta send this dude from.
Well, you think it's more organized than?
It's getting more organized than you believe. It's getting organized in a way because money, bruh. Money organizes things.
I don't know if Tekashi. I don't know if Tekashi's blood set is like in cahoots with the Pyrus of fucking like.
You're thinking about what you see and not what goes on behind the scenes. You're not thinking about these kids that are getting sent off to school to be lawyers, and these kids are getting sent off to school to be the execs and whatnot, but they're still going to be banging. Same thing as like the Yakuza in Japan. You know what I'm saying?
Snoop Dogg, when he said he went to Japan, he's like, the motherfucker's cripping out there. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, what? This shit is crazy. No, Chris Brown's a blood.
I assumed it was just American influence.
Yeah,
that's all I.
It's influence.
Even as a teenager, I assumed.
Yeah.
I said they're dangerous, but that's American.
Yeah.
Well, even that, like, talk to which dude was it from early NWA? The guy from the Wrecking Crew. What, Lonzo? Was that his name? But like they asked him. He's like, when did you really see gang? Like, like after NWA basically came out in gangster rap, did you see like an increase in like gangs? He's like, oh fuck yeah. He's like gangbanging was a thing. He's like, but it wasn't like. Like it was culture to where it was. He's like, but it wasn't like a mainstream thing. He's like, after like the gangster rap came out, he's like, gangs became like mainstream.
Like, what I would do,
everyone was in a gang.
I'd recommend every, and for the most part.
Sorry, that goes back to what I was just saying. Like when I lived in that little rural fucking town. These kids were all draped in red, thinking they're Bloods because they watch fucking BET all the fucking time.
Right. So what I would say to these kids, what I would say to fathers out there, specifically, I don't want to say specifically, but, if you have young black kids or whatever, at around 12 years old, especially if they're boys, give them the book Monster by Senyaka Shakur. This book changed my life.
Do you have it?
No, I gave it to my best friend, and say both of us read it, and we're like, all right, yo, fuck that shit.
I want to read
this book changed my life, bro, because I read it when I graduated grade 8, going into high school, and the book starts when he's in grade 8, graduating, going into high school. His initiation, no, not his brother, but like an older dude in the hood. But his initiation, that same night he graduated grade 8, was to go out and he had to shoot up a rival house. This guy was shooting up the rival house, and when the guys came out to shoot back, while all the other old gangbangers are running away, he's running towards the house shooting.
Yeah. Yo, I heard about this dude. Yeah,
it was very descriptive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was descriptive enough to scare me away from the direction that certain people I was growing up with were going.
Yeah.
So I read it at a very formative age where it was like, word. And it told me everything about gang culture where it was like, this is real. You know what I'm saying? Do
you know what the crazy
so I read
shit
that,
is?
And I read Malcolm X at about 13, 14 and was like, okay, word. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because it just implemented something in my head. And a third book I would recommend on that would be The Alchemist.
Word.
And you know what I'm saying? Everybody got to read that book. But Monster by Senyaka Shakur, I definitely recommend if you have young sons or teenage age sons, give them that book so they can understand what this culture is and they can decide for themselves if they even want to put themselves through that torture.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is once you get that deep into shit. It's torture and you can't get out.
Yo, what's up? It's your man, MLNY, Maloney, Breaking Records Radio. You know what it is. I'm just here to tell you guys right now that you want to, if any of my smokers out there, basically, any of my Canadian smokers, now that it's legal, what you got to do is you got to head over to thccollection.com and check them out. And make sure you use the promo code HIPHOP. That's HIPHOP, and that's all capital letters. Save 10% on every purchase that you make. Anytime. They got everything. They got deals every single day of the week, which include like free whatever with whatever you buy. And my favorite is Tulip Tuesday. You can get $100 ounces, and that's only on Tuesdays. And you save 10% on every purchase with the promo code HIPHOP, all caps. That's HIPHOP. So make sure you go over there, check them out. That's thccollection.com for all your good medical needs, for all your good greenery, your extracts, and all that good stuff.